Persona 3 is a reminder that you will die, and that life only means something because of it. I think the reason this game still hits so hard is because it never treats death like some distant event. It treats it like something that is already here, already walking beside us every day, already sitting behind your routine, whether you want to think about it or not.
Welcome to the Velvet Room, my dear young man.
When people talk about Persona 3, they usually jump straight to the ending, Nyx, or gameplay. But the thing that makes the game work is that it understands that death is not only tragic when it arrives, it is also what makes every normal day matter before it does. The random afternoon you almost cancelled, the message you almost didn't send, the quiet walk home that felt like nothing at the time, the small conversation you barely paid attention to, the moments you assume will repeat forever. Until one day, they don't. And once you look at the game that way, the calendar starts to feel completely different. The school days, the aimless afternoons, the dumb little conversations, the people you spend time with for reasons that don't even seem important in the moment. None of that is filler. That is it. That is the point. The game spends so much time on ordinary life because ordinary life is exactly what mortality gives weight to. If your time were endless, these moments would be disposable. You could always do it tomorrow, call later, say it another day, fix it next week. But the game is always quietly pushing back against that fantasy. Time keeps moving. The months don't stop. Life does not pause just because you are not ready. And that is where the game starts getting under your skin. Because it slowly forces you to see that the value of life is not coming from some grand destiny or some final heroic act. It's coming from limitation, from the fact that things end, from the fact that one day, without warning, one of these normal days will be the last version of itself, and you will not know it while it's happening. And that's just brutal. And the game knows it. Which is why the Ryoji choice lands the way it does. What he offers is not evil in any form. That would be too easy. What he offers is relief. He offers a way to stop carrying the knowledge of what's coming. No fear, no burden, no memory of the dark hour. No need to live under that pressure anymore. A kind of euthanasia of knowledge. And for a moment, that sounds almost kind. The game is not asking whether you're brave enough to fight. It's asking whether you really want the truth, even if that truth makes your life heavier. If it forces you to look at your time differently, at your relationships differently, at yourself differently. Because once you understand that your time is limited, you stop moving through life so casually. You stop telling yourself that every unfinished conversation can wait, that there will always be another chance to be honest, or kinder, or more present than you were the day before. You start feeling the weight of things a little differently, because now time is no longer this vague thing in the background. It becomes something you can actually lose. And I think that's where Persona 3 starts hitting a lot harder than it first seems to. Because the people around you stop feeling like distractions from the main story. they become the reason the story hurts in the first place. It understands that relationships are not meaningful because they last. They're meaningful because they don't. Because they are fragile. Because they can be interrupted. Because one day, whether you're ready or not, they end. And until that day comes, all you really have is the time you choose to give them. That's also why Nyx feels so different from the kind of final threat people are used to. Nyx doesn't really come across like a villain with a plan or a personality you're meant to hate. It feels colder than that, more distant, more final. Like the game is no longer putting you in front of an enemy, but in front of something much worse. A truth that doesn't care how you feel about it. If Nyx were just evil, then the story would still be giving you comfort. It would still be telling you that this is something simple, something with a face and a motive and a clean way to beat it. But Persona 3 doesn't do that. Nyx feels more like the shape of an ending than a person standing in your way. It feels inevitable. So by the time the game reaches its ending, it is not really asking whether life is sad because death exists. That's too simple. What it's really asking is whether life would mean anything at all without that limit hanging over it. And I think that the core idea, because beneath all the style, all the symbolism, all the atmosphere, the game is saying something brutally plain. You are going to die. The people you love are going to die. None of this stays. But instead of turning that into nihilism, Persona 3 turns it into pressure, into responsibility, into the idea that if life is finite, then what you do with it actually matters more, not less. It refuses to separate meaning from mortality. It looks straight at the fact that everything ends, and then asks you what kind of life you're going to build in the shadow of that fact. So, that's what you're left with. You're going to die. And maybe that's not the tragedy. So, what are you going to do today?